So what I'll just tell maybe those who are yearning to travel or those who are yearning to go out there, do a lot of research, know the authorities that are needed at certain places, know who you can call, know who you can speak to. Don't just go there blindly. You're going to a different place, a different nationality. For me, I wouldn't say that everything was just smooth. What was so challenging for me was cultural shock. You find these people, they behave in a certain way, and you as a Kenyan, you behave in a certain way. They dress in a certain way, you dress in a certain way. And you know, there is this saying that if you go to the Romans, you have to behave like the Romans.
Which takes us back, we need to go for training. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Domestic Worker Returnees of Kenya. We are here once again to talk about success stories on those that have traveled and came back and they are still going back. So, as we told you before, it's not that everyone that goes to Gulf countries that comes back with sad stories, no. And at the same time, we cannot stop migration because people will always migrate. And there are just a few cases that come which maybe don't have a positive impact or they have shortcomings. And today we are privileged to have a guest who was here with us back in 2022 before traveling, and she went and finished her contract and she's back. That is, she traveled in Bahrain and still she's going back to Bahrain, and she will share with us how the journey has been, if we were helpful to her about finance, that is in terms of saving, in terms of how we advised her on labor, migration, the advice you get before traveling to any Gulf countries or European countries. Karibuni sana.
My name's Elizabeth
Mugamba,
and I'm happy to see you again.
We are happy to see you. Karibu sana.
Thank you. So I was here in 2022. We spoke 1, 2, 3 things. I traveled, I came back, and I thank God.
Amen.
Yeah, it has been awesome. I have traveled to Bahrain. I'm Kenyan. I have a family, of course, my parents, my siblings, and all that. And I have gone there to work. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you have to look for something that will keep you busy, something that will make you grow, something that will shift you from one level to another. We were here, we spoke about a lot of things. We spoke about finances, we spoke about traveling, migration, how to save, the repercussions, which routes you should use while traveling and all that. So we talked about a lot of things, so much of it which was helpful to me, because I know before we spoke, there are some mistakes I was about to make, and we looked at that, we changed that, and I would say that was the beginning of also my successful story, because if I had no one to talk to, maybe I would have made some wrong decisions at the end of the day. Yeah. Before I traveled, I had my passport, and before even traveling, you get advices from friends, you know, come to this country, come to this place, you know, and because you don't know, you will try to listen to them. So I remember in my case, before I traveled to Bahrain, I had taken my passport to someone so that they can take me to another country. So I went there, I spoke to that person, and he gave me options. Okay, he asked me, where would you want to go? I told him, I'm not sure because I am a new traveler. I've never gone out any other time. So he gave me options like Iraq, Lebanon, Saudi. And because I had had so many stories about Saudi, I told him, no, I want to go to Saudi. So I asked him, what do you think is better for me? And he told me, you can go to Iraq, you can go to Lebanon, you can go to Qatar, to Dubai and all that, but you have to use money to go to some countries.
So you have to pay to go to those countries.
To go to those countries. But if you don't have money, I hope that you should go to Iraq.
Imagine.
And because I was naive, I told him then it's okay. But I asked him, what if I have a problem? What will happen? And he told me, that is a good question. They are manipulative.
Yes.
They will make you to, you will go because there is a way that they will talk to you. So he told me that I have agents there. If you have a problem, I will speak to them and there will be no problem. You will just be sorted out. And I told him, okay. So after going back home, I told my family how I have spoken to that person and they advised me. And after that advice, I decided to change my mind. So I called the person and I told him, I'll be going to school, so there is no need for me to travel. I'll just come for my passport. And the first thing he told me, I've taken your passport to my house. So you will wait for some time so that you can get your passport back. And then before leaving that place, he had told me, for you to go to Iraq, you will have to do medical and all that. But there is a small medical that you will have to do so that you go there. And I told him, I don't have money right now. Maybe I will do it next time. And he told me, because you've already made up your mind, just enter that room, do the medical test, and you will pay later. So the time I was to go back for my passport, he told me, you have to pay me so that I can give you back your passport. And because I did not have any otherwise, I took some time, looked for that money, then I gave it to him. But what I did not know is that this decision that I have made will come to cost me later. Yeah, that is now when I'm coming back now from Bahrain. Do a lot of research.
Yes.
Do a lot of research. Know the authorities that are needed at certain places. Know who you can call. Know who you can speak to. Because don't just go there blindly. What was so challenging for me was cultural shock. You find these people, they behave in a certain way. And you as a Kenyan, you behave in a certain way. They dress in a certain way, you dress in a certain way. You should know that there is that boundary. This person is my employer, I'm an employee. And if there is somewhere that you're not going on a straight path, who are you calling? Do you have your agent's number? Do you have the number of those people that took you there? Like for instance, for me, I was referred there, And if I had a problem and I cannot speak directly to my bosses, I would call that person who referred me there. And I tell them, I have a problem here and there. I don't know how I can express myself. Also speak your mind, but be respectful. Most of us, when we go to Gulf countries or countries outside, you find that most are people who have never touched that kind of money. That is the first challenge that people need to understand. You're going there, maybe in Kenya you are being paid 10,000 to maybe 20,000. You go there, you start being paid 50 and above Kenyan money, and you're like, I've never touched this kind of money. So you find maybe you even have that internal shock, and you find yourself spending and spending and spending and spending. I had that challenge in my first month because this was my first time touching this kind of money ever since I was employed. So I was like, I can send someone 10,000 at a go, and I don't feel any pain. But it reached a time, my dad spoke to me, and he told me, opportunity comes once in a lifetime. So you don't have to spend and spend and spend and then look at a long-term thing. You're not just living for today. You're living for tomorrow, years to come and all that. So that was the first advice he gave me, that I need to save. Another thing, I met this circle called the Park.
It's a domestic worker circle.
It is a domestic worker circle. And I have been able to save there, even more than I was saving my money in the bank, in M-Shwari, where I can access it easily. I had this mindset of, if I lend out, they will just pay back. You see?
And it happens a lot.
And that is where one of the biggest problem I was facing, you know. And there is someone who will even come back and come back and come back and come back, and because you have that pity,
Uruma,
you will just give out. But if you set in your mind, in your mind, like, what if I didn't have this kind of money? What will I do? So you help where you can, but not to a point where you like inconvenience yourself. You see, you have to know that if I get this 100%, my maybe 50% is going to saving.
Yes.
My 10% is going to spendings. This one is going to my family. This one is going to my.
Yes.
You see, at that point you'll know that even if I get this, let's say 10,000, I know this my 5,000 will be my saving every month.
Yes.
These other 5,000, 3,000 I will send to my family.
Yes.
2,000 I will spend it on myself. And you put that as your culture every month, every month, every month. At that point, you'll find yourself.
Thank you very much because tumekuwa tukisikia negative, but there is also success out there.
Sure.
If you follow the right channel. Tunakuombea safari njema as you go back.
Thank you.
And success. Next time you come, I think the park will be telling us you bought a very big piece of land.
Amen.